to Area DMG. I'm your host, Will Wesley the Mile High Mouth, and today we're taking a look at 10 sort of scary games for Halloween that are on the Nintendo Switch. And we're going to justify those with, well, stuff. So we're going to have gameplay footage behind here because that's what I do now. Yay! Right? I mean, come on. Come on! Gotta admit this is timely. I might split it into two. Be like, 5. And then another 5. Whoa! I might do that. I could do that. I'm crazy! Which, by the way, why isn't Plants vs. Zombies on the Nintendo Switch? That would totally be on this list if it were on the Nintendo Switch. I think PopCap's the people who made that. Wow, they really messed up. They really messed up. You messed up, PopCap. You done messed up. You could have been on this list, but you don't have a game on the Nintendo Switch. What is wrong with you? Don't you like money? Oh, ah! Watch, they'll release it tomorrow and it'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Good. But yeah, here we go. 10 in no particular order. Games that are spooky and whatever for Halloween on the Nintendo Switch. Make sure you hit that like button, that share button, that subscribe button, and then ring that little bell so you're notified whenever we have a brand new video here on Area DMG. So, number 10 on our list is Hotline Miami Collection. Why? Because, well, what is the good spirit of Halloween and spookiness than, showing up at other people's houses and taking candy from them? And by taking candy, I mean beating them to death while wearing Halloween masks. Yeah, so Hotline Miami actually kind of fits with this theme, you know? We're talking Halloween related. And like any good thriller or horror movie, a lot of unfair things happen to decent people. I mean, I'll be honest, there are parts of Hotline Miami too where I was just like, oh, ooh, that I don't really like that much. That's And there are parts of Hotline Miami 1, like in Hotline Miami 1, there's a part there where you escape from a hospital, and that just gave me a headache the first time I played through. I was like, what is this? I feel nauseous watching this. And then the level after that has you going through a police station to find this other person, and I'm like, I don't like what my character's doing at all in this. I really don't like this. But I'm going to play through it anyways because just like any good horror movie, you got to stick to the end of it. And there's enough twists and turns in Hotline Miami for the Nintendo Switch, which, by the way, many of these games are being M-rated. Sorry, little kiddies. I'm sorry. But yeah, Hotline Miami. It's out there. It's spectacular. And it follows the spirit of Halloween. If Halloween were like The Purge or something, or Driver, which this is kind of loosely based on, sort of. Good game though. These are all good games. So, woo, there you go. Next thing, number 9 on our spectacular scary list game thingy is What Remains of Edith Finch. What Remains of Edith Finch is a psychological horror game where you're pretty much exploring a haunted house. And it's about the worst possible scary things ever. Family secrets. And it's it's about this family that they feel like they're cursed because they all of them meet untimely and horrible deaths. It's like it was written by Lemony Snicket or something. But yeah, What Remains of Edith Finch is quote a walking simulator. It's more of a you walk around, you do things, and stuff happens, and you progress the story, and it's a really good story. You can beat it pretty quickly, but it's gonna stick with you for a while, like any good horror movie. In a way, you could say it's not like it doesn't go weirdly off the rails like say a Hereditary, or it's not dumb like The Visit, but it is a smart, well written story with a lot of interesting gameplay mechanics. Like it explores bouts of mental illness. It explores. Oh gosh, there's this one section which is kind of like a comic book that I just fully appreciate this game for what it did. It's affecting and sad, and God, is it a trip? It's really fun. Um, the first time you play through it, so yeah, definitely check it out. It's on the Switch and it's worth checking out. Now let's get on to number 8. What's number 8 on here? Well, it's Hellblade: Setsuna's Sacrifice on the Nintendo Switch. This game by Ninja Theory is super disturbing. I definitely recommend playing it with some good headphones because it has directional audio by aural audio and binaural. But it's it is a really good game. Now most of the time you're wandering through these little areas and you're trying to match up these things. There's combat. The combat's okay. The designs, the story, the look of it, just oh, it is super intense, and it just gets. If you're get squeamish at stuff like say Midsommar or if Martyrs made you squeamish, this is a game for you. No, actually, this one actually does have some pretty serious discussion in a way about mental illness and about other unpleasant things. It's a thoroughly unpleasant game in many regards, but it's also a really good game. I really enjoyed this game. It was really good, and hey, you know what? If you've noticed, these games are not typically what you would expect to see in a horror list. And that's fine, because I'm looking for something more intelligent. I mean, for every, let's see, I mean, no, you're probably not going to see many jump scary things in here. I want stuff that sticks with you for other reasons. And this is a game that sticks with you long after you're done with it. In fact, actually, I recommend after you're done with it, check out the little bonus feature about the making of the game. They brought in a lot. There's a reason this game has a warning in front of it when you first play it, and it's good. This is a really good game, and it looks amazing on the Nintendo Switch, especially on the Switch Lite. Where hey, if you have good headphones, pop in those really good headphones, sit down, turn out the lights, hide under your weighted blanket, and you know, play some play this game. It it's good. You probably won't enjoy parts of it, but it does cut to the core in very universal themes, even if some of it is fairly violent and grotesque. But still, a wonderful game because not just because of that content, but and because of what it goes, but it goes through this whole just the whole thing is really well put together and it's a really good game. You should definitely check it out. And let's get on to number 7.
Number 7 is a very controversial game in that we're talking about the Untitled Goose Game. I know what you're thinking. Wait, what? The Untitled Goose Game? What? What type of Halloween list is this? I'm waiting for the scary. No. No. Part of Halloween is playing pranks on people, and what better game or what better idea than to be a goose that goes around being horrifying to people and playing pranks and tricks on people and taking things, all the bells, all the candy, just going shopping, just being a horrible goose. And that's why I think this game is pretty Halloween appropriate. It's also one of the least mature titles on here. So, yeah, that's also a thing. But hey, I know what you're thinking. What? And I'm thinking the same thing too. Yes, I think that this is a great game for Halloween. Untitled Goose Game. Yeah, just just check it out. Now on to number 6. Number 6 on our list is Limbo. Now I know, yes, this is a traditional horror game. For the most part, I really like Limbo. It's weirdly affecting, it's fun. It's also kind of gruesome and puzzling and an interesting game with a lot of weirdly serious repercussions in there. I mean, you sit there, you play through, you're like, Yeah, there's also a reason that these are in no particular order because not all these games are better than other ones, but feel that Limbo needs to be on this list because it's a great game, and I feel that it's appropriately spooky for Halloween. It's got enough near spisses, near misses with giant spiders in it to make it a pretty creepy crawly way to spend an evening. So yeah, remember these are in no particular order. I appreciate headphones, although we had some gremlins with our audio, I've noticed, while editing this. But yeah, there you go. Here's our number 6 on the list. It is Limbo. And now on to number 5. Now here we are in number 5, and this is a fairly new game, so I'm including it on here because I've been playing through it, and I think it's pretty good. But you have to be the type of person who's okay with visual novels. And if you're not okay with visual novels, you're probably not going to have fun with this next one. But I did. I think it's great. This is Raging Loop. It's a game similar to like Zero Escape, those types of games where you make choices and things happen, and you're like, did I make the right choice? What just happened here? Oh my gosh, now I'm dead. As you try looking for the penultimate ending in a mysterious village with werewolves, I think. We're not sure yet. I mean, until Zero Escape makes its way onto the Switch, which those should at some point make their way onto the Switch, this is like the next best thing. So go pick this one up. I really enjoyed it. I'm not done with it yet, but I've been enjoying my time with it. But I like visual novels, so that's an odd choice on here for number 5. But remember, these are just 5. I guess you could think of these as 10 suggestions for your spooky time jollies. Yeah.
What's number 4 on our list? Number 4 on our list is Crawl. Why Crawl? Well, because Crawl is a game about killing your friends. Yay! Because that's the choice that you want to make on Halloween. It's like, hey, we're going to run into this horrifying dungeon to beat some type of Lovecraftian horror called the Beast, and your friends are going to possess the creatures in it. There's a small tutorial which we're showing bits and clips of right here, but once you get into it, it's a really fun little game where the basic idea is to make life completely miserable for your friends. But yeah, it's pretty good actually. You'll play through it and you'll be like, dang, this is a good game. Why didn't I buy this before? It's good for 1 to 4 players. You can have CPU stuff in there and it's all cool, or you can just play by yourself with the CPUs and, or play with friends. Get some friends together, upgrade your monsters, upgrade your heroes, control the bosses, and crawl, which has nothing to do with that alligator horror movie. Sorry. This is a different kind of crawl than that. And let's move on to the next one on our list, which is number 3, I think. Yeah. This has been kind of a little bit of a weird list because there's stuff that I think I wanted to include in here and I just didn't. Maybe next year when I do another spooky list, I'll include other stuff in here and you'll be like, oh, why wasn't that in this list? I'm like, well, I just ran out of stuff. I was doing 10. So, meh, there you go. Oh boy, let's get on with it.
I know what you're thinking. You're probably looking at this and going, wait, why am I looking at arms at number 3? And I'm going to tell you why you're looking at arms for number 3. Because I like arms. It's a good game. Not enough people played it. And the characters are fantastic. I mean, here I am, dressed up as the cutest clown this side of Pennywise, and I'm beating up a monstrous mummy inside an abandoned laboratory full of goop. I mean, come on. This is some of the best new characters design from Nintendo since Splatoon. I mean, come on. Nintendo has some amazing franchises, like, for example, Pushmo, which we haven't got on Switch yet, by the way, or Dylan's Rolling Western. Yeah, come on. Or Sakurai Samurai. Those are fantastic. Arms is no different. Arms is a fantastic fighting game, and it's got some pretty fun visuals because one thing about Halloween is costumes, and what better way to celebrate Halloween than beating up your friends? Another multiplayer game here. It's like Halloween is best with friends. Yeah, actually, it's pretty good. I mean, there's some pretty great little board games and things, and honest to goodness, did you really think this was going to be like a different kind of list, you know? Like, did you think this was gonna be all horror games? I'm sorry if you thought this was gonna be all horror games. It's not. Nope, sorry. There's two more. I wonder what they could be. Dun dun dun. Did you really think I was gonna get through a list about the greatest, well, not really greatest, like 10 fun horror games, sort of scary games, kind of scary games, super scary games for the Nintendo Switch and not like mention this stuff because it's kind of a Halloweenish type thing, not so much scary, more Halloweeny, so Halloween-ish. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Why, you had arms on there, Philip. What's wrong with you? Well, I like Halloween. I watch a lot of things related to Halloween, like horror and things like that. And I'll be honest, for every The Shining or every like Night of the Living Dead, there's things like Shaun of the Dead or The Dead Don't Die or Dave Built a Maze or Colossal or other types of games. There's a horror or even Halloween related stuff is all over the place, and that's fine. Let's be perfectly honest here. That's fine. With Resident Evil, I was trying to figure out which one I wanted to include in here because I did want to include at least one. I mean, 4 is great. 4 is fantastic. 4 is amazing. Resident Evil 1 is fantastic. Resident Evil 1 is amazing. 2 is not on the Switch, which is a crime, really. Um, but Resident Evil Revelations is a game out of the Resident Evil series that's kind of a personal favorite of mine. I mean, I got it on the 3DS. I think I bought it multiple times on the 3DS. Hell, I even bought this on the Wii U. And then I specifically was like, no, no, yeah, blah, blah, like I don't own a copy of it on the Wii U currently. I do own it on the Switch though. Really happy about that. I own it on the PlayStation. I own it on the Xbox. I don't own it on PC, but this is one of those things where if someone put out a patch so I could play this in 4K on the PC, I would download that patch immediately. Because I don't know, I mean, I've put hundreds of hours into Resident Evil Revelations. I know. What? I just love the atmosphere for it. Some of the bosses in here are some of my favorites. I really like that very first boss fight, I mean, a build up to it. Mayday! 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 Yeah, that thing just chills. Fantastic. And the other one, oh my gosh, there's a boss in here where you're shooting, it's like, stop! Don't! And then you're like, oh god, what the heck? No, this is not okay. But yeah, Resident Evil Revelations is fantastic. It combines all sorts of things that I love. Kind of Lovecraftian horror. I love Lovecraftian horror. It's fantastic. And there's some great horror games coming out for the Switch too, and I'm looking forward to those. So good. So good. And then next year, of course, Bayonetta 3 will be out, and that might be fun. Who knows? Maybe that'll end up on this. There's a bunch of stuff that didn't end up on this list, and I'm thinking to myself, I certainly missed out on a lot of games I could put on this list. And I'm sorry I missed out on those. Maybe next list. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. Next year, I'm going to do another one of these lists, and I'm not going to include anything from this list for the most part, because this one's just the 2019 edition. You're welcome. So, yeah. This has been about 9 games that you should definitely check out on the Switch in no particular order, although the one that I have here at the very head of this list is one that I was going to include at the head of the list anyways. If I were actually numbering these and weighing them against something, it would have been number 1 anyways. So, yeah, what is it? Well, I know what it is. Do you know? Well, let's find out. The final game on this collection is Yomawari The Night Alone Collection. It's Yomawari 1 and Yomawari 2. These are actually pretty terrifying little games. They're pretty intense, especially if you've got a good set of headphones. In fact, I recommend headphones for quite a few of these games, particularly Hellblade and particularly this one. Sorry. But yeah, this game is fantastic. And why? Because it doesn't show you what's horrible. It leaves it up to your imagination. Your little girl out on the town looking for your sister and your lost dog. Or you're looking for your friend in the woods, depending on which one that you're playing. And they're both um equally unsettling. Like they're actually really horrifying when you think about them, but horrifying in a good way. They're horror that sticks with you. Also, they're really intense with the little hide and seek mechanic. There are times you're just like, oh God, something's out there, and it's terrible. A lot of it's anticipation, waiting for stuff to go away, so that you're not murdered horribly by stuff. Anyways, that's Yomawari Night Alone collection, and that's number one on my list. It would have been here anyways if this were a top 10 list. It'd be like one or two. Hmm. There are a bunch of games that could also be on this list next year, so of course I'm going to do one next year. What games do you think should have been on this list? Give me an idea of what ones you think are pretty terrifying. I know, Bendy and the Ink Machine was almost on here, okay? And Alien Isolation is not out yet on the Switch, but it will be soon, and it was almost on here. Dark Souls was almost on here. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and then ring that little bell so you're notified whenever we have a brand new video here on Area DMG. And until next video comes out, you are now caught up.
Morning, Maya.